6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news is read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The Health Ministry says it is prepared to carry out a full-scale home-based treatment for the COVID patients. The Health Ministry reported that 61% of the corona deaths reported up to 31st of August are from NCDs. The island-wide quarantine curfew extended further. Knife attack by a man of Sri Lankan origin in New Zealand. Sri Lanka awaits more information from New Zealand. 202 new deaths confirmed as daily corona cases climbed over 3,600 yesterday. And those are the headlines. In the wake of a knife attack carried out at the supermarket in Auckland, New Zealand, by a man of Sri Lankan origin, the Sri Lankan Foreign Ministry yesterday said that more information has been sought from the New Zealand authorities over the incident. Foreign Ministry Secretary Admiral Jayanath Kolambage told media that Sri Lanka is awaiting more information about the incident as the New Zealand authorities are yet to communicate details about the incident. He said that the Sri Lankan authorities were ready to provide the required assistance for the investigations by the New Zealand investigators into the incident. He also said that the Sri Lankan authorities only knew the basic information about the incident as well as the suspect. Meanwhile, the Foreign Ministry in a statement condemned the attack and said Sri Lanka condemns this senseless violence and stands ready to cooperate with the New Zealand authorities in whatever manner necessary. The epidemiology unit of the Health Ministry reports that 864 more people have tested positive for COVID-19 in Sri Lanka, moving the daily total of new cases to 3,644 yesterday. This brings the confirmed tally of corona infections reported in the country to 451,401. A total of 380,166 recoveries have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the outbreak of the pandemic last year. As per official data, more than 61,000 active cases are currently under medical care at hospitals, treatment centers and homes. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka registered 202 new COVID-related deaths yesterday by the Director General of Health Services. The new development has pushed the official death toll from the virus outbreak in Sri Lanka to 9,806. According to the data released by the Department of Government Information, the latest victims include 113 males and 89 females. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Sri Lankan government has decided to further extend the quarantine curfew orders currently enforced across the island by another week. Accordingly, the restrictions will be in effect until 4 a.m. on September 13, the Monday. The decision to further extend the quarantine curfew was taken during the virtual meeting of the Special Committee on COVID-19 Control convened under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa last morning. Recommendations determine that progress will be made through the ongoing national inoculation drive in the interim to curb the recent spike in COVID-19 figures. Minister of Health Keheliya Rambukwela said in a tweet announcing the decision. The Health Ministry says it is prepared to carry out a full-scale home-based treatment for the COVID patients. The project was initially commenced in Western Province and now it has been extended to the other provinces in the country. Around 14,000 patients are being treated under home-based treatment category, and this has shown successful results so far. The recovery rate also shown a sharp improvement. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry says 61% of the corona deaths reported up to 31st of August have been due to non-communicable diseases, out of which 54% of the patients were reported to be diabetic patients. And that's local news.
Amanda knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidamahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidamahatmya.
U.S. Resident Coordinator Hena Singer says UN will always extend its fullest support to Sri Lanka for the efforts taken to establish sustainable development and peace in the country. Ms. Anna made these remarks at a meeting with Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Peiris. The meeting focused on the financial assistance and other technical support provided by UN to Sri Lanka to control COVID pandemic in the country. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Light.
The Health Ministry has advised the home-based patients to get the relevant advices from the expert doctors by dialing 1904. The patients with respiratory problems could be considered as A category patients. The patients with fever, cough and body pain considered as B category patients, and those who do not have any symptoms fall into C category. When seeking advices, the patients are advised to mention their category, age and NIC number. The home-based patients initially could register themselves by dialing 1906. The hotline is available 24/7. And that's Watchlight.
World News.
First, the headlines of the World News Bulletin. Afghanistan update. Fate of Panjshir Valley, or the Kashmir Valley, in balance amid heavy fighting. Apple delays plan to scan iPhones for child abuse. Australia to get Pfizer doses from UK in a vaccine swap. And those are the headlines of the world news. The fate of Afghanistan's Panjshir Valley, the final holdout against Taliban control, hangs in a balance as heavy fighting continues. Taliban sources told Reuters that they had seized the area, but the resistance fighters they are battling denied this. One of the resistance leaders, Amrullah Saleh, dismissed claims he had fled, but said the situation was difficult. Apple has delayed plans to roll out detection technology which would have scanned US users' iPhones in search of child sexual abuse material. It follows a widespread criticism from privacy groups and others, worried that the device tracking set a dangerous precedent. Apple said that it had listened to the negative feedback and was reconsidering about the approach. Australia says it has secured an extra 4 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine from UK in a swap deal. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said the extra vaccines could help his country come out of its lockdown situation. About half of Australia's population is currently in lockdown due to outbreak in the cities of Sydney, Melbourne and Canberra. And that was World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Specialist Dr. Prasanna Gunasena says if the present vaccination program is carried out successfully, then the public could see some good results in November. The wrong views and rumors with regard to certain brands of vaccine have proven to be false by now. Therefore, the general public show more interest in getting the jabs on time. However, it is important that the general public should follow the health regulations, including the wearing face mask, maintaining social distance, and use hand sanitizers, he added.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
In sports, soccer, FIFA has opened disciplinary proceedings after racist abuse was aimed at England players during Thursday's 4-0 win over Hungary in a World Cup qualifier in Budapest. Raheem Sterling and Jude Bellingham were both targeted. And that was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Board of Investment, the BOI of Sri Lanka, recently signed an agreement with Raksha Private Limited for the expansion of their existing operations, which will now include high-quality ladies' fashion garments and sportswear. Raksha Private Limited will export to UK, Holland, USA, India and Mauritius and will generate approximately 300 additional employment opportunities with its expansion that also includes rural geographies in Sri Lanka.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by Ikra Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Meeting Sri Lanka's rapidly increasing water and sanitation needs will require a comprehensive national policy capable of managing institutional coordination, improve planning, and attract investment to benefit millions of people. Sri Lanka is on track to meet the Sustainable Development Goal, SDG, of providing basic access to clean drinking water and sanitation, but Sri Lanka will have to focus on safely managed access. In the coming decades, with the growing urbanization, pollution, climate change, and budgetary constraints compound with the impact of COVID-19. And that was Economic News.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by Ikra Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in western, Sabaragamu, central and northwestern provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places. Showers or thundershowers will occur at few places in eastern and Uva provinces, especially in the evening or night. Showers or thundershowers can be expected in the northern province in the morning too. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com predicts that Colombo weather would be generally bright during the day, but there'll be cloudy weather in the afternoon. Today's daytime temperature would be around 29 degrees centigrade. The weather would be mostly cloudy with occasional shower, and there'll be light showers in many places in Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 26 degrees centigrade, and there'll be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 26 degrees centigrade at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 15, which show fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. Before we wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The Health Ministry says it is prepared to carry out a full-scale home-based treatment for the COVID patients. The Health Ministry says 61% of the corona deaths reported up to 31st of August are from non-communicable diseases. The island-wide quarantine curfew extended further. Knife attack by a man of Sri Lankan origin in New Zealand. Sri Lanka awaits more information from the New Zealand. 202 new deaths confirmed as daily cases climb over 3,600 reported yesterday. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.